Days, weeks, and months just fly by, and although 2020 has been just about the longest year in living memory, it has still gone by in a flash. Time is so finite to us as individuals, even though we treat it like we have all the time in the world. So what do you spend your time on? Can you even make a list of what you got done today? If you're finding that you're so busy but nothing seems to be completed, then this video is for you. We're going to point out ways you're probably losing valuable time and gaining very little with these 15 biggest time wasters in life. So without wasting any more time, let's dive in. Number 1. Checking emails like a twitch. 200 billion emails are sent a day, but not all emails are equal and require our immediate attention. In fact, most could do without ever being opened and we would still be fine. One of the most distracting and concentration-destructing sounds in adult life has got to be the notification sound or symbol you get when an email lands in your inbox. What is most astounding is that despite the security that every waking email will arrive with a ding, we still habitually check our email on average 36 times an hour. That's more than once every 2 minutes. It's a wonder anyone gets anything. Sorry, I was just checking my email really quick. I thought I heard a ding. Anyway, you get the point. Answering emails immediately isn't so urgent that you have to be checking them like a nervous twitch. Turn off your notifications, do your work, and reply in a reasonable time frame. Number 2. Manually updating social media. Most working adults spend on average 2 hours on social media every day. That includes keeping up with Carrie from high school, the kids' school concert, and seeing what your second cousin had for lunch. If you want to still have a presence on social media and limit your scroll time, then it's time to use some new tools. Find a social media management tool that works for you. One of the most popular is Hootsuite. This allows you to load up and schedule all your various profiles and accounts across all social media platforms. You can get all of your notifications in one place, too. It makes your time spent posting and keeping your online presence more focused. Then when you do have time to spare, you can scroll and enjoy rather than feeling the guilt of whiling away endless hours looking at nothing of any importance. Number 3. Not delegating. Aren't you proud of yourself that you went to college, pushed yourself for extra marks, and did all that work experience just so you can spend your valuable professional career comparing printers? Well, if this is you, you're wasting your life and skills because you failed at the biggest test of success, delegating. You can't expect your earnings to be in the millions if you're doing all the menial work that you can outsource to remote PAs for $5. It's time to outsource so you can spend your time doing tasks that matter. Failing to delegate disempowers and frustrates lower-level team members who feel like you don't value their skill. Plus, it's robbing you and the company of billing for your professional skills. It's time you write a to-do list and be honest about what you really need to supervise and what can be delegated. Anything that costs less per hour to outsource than it does for your time should be delegated to someone that earns a lot less. But let's get back to these to-do lists. We're not done there. Number 4. Unmanaged to-do lists. We at ALUX love getting to-do lists done, but writing up a to-do list doesn't guarantee success. What comes next is what sets the successful apart. If you want to be effective, you need to try and make your daily to-do list short. It's no problem if you need to word vomit absolutely everything you need to do onto the page first. In fact, it's actually a good idea so you don't sit there thinking that you need to remember something. That's also a waste of time. But from that list, you need to create some order. Add some timelines and create an order of action. Each day, tackle a few items. There's no point in trying to tackle all of them at once, or else you'll just waste time. We've got some more on multitasking later. Number 5. Searching for your keys. Life's too short to spend it looking for keys and then shoes and your wallet and now your gym access card and your keys again. The average American spends a year of their life looking for shit. Imagine if someone gave you an entire year free, what would you do with it? Well, if you would just stop losing things, you would have that year. Keeping track of things is actually really simple. It starts with just giving things a place. A hook for keys, a drawer for wallets, a place for your watch, your hairbrush, your shoes. Whatever it is that you lose frequently, start with today. Then slowly over time, give everything else a place in your home and office. Number 6. Multitasking. According to Guy Winch, a PhD and author, when it comes to attention and productivity, our brains have a finite amount. In short, multitasking is a crock. Multitasking makes everything take a lot longer, and it doesn't guarantee the same quality as when our attention is focused. Each time you switch gears between tasks, you lose time and concentration, changing from one to the next. Don't waste your own time. Do one thing at a time, wrap it up, and move on to the next thing. You'll save yourself a lot of time and do things more focused. Number 7. Being a procrastinating perfectionist. Failing to make a move because we don't want to make a mistake or want it to turn out perfect isn't just a result of common procrastination. It can be perfectionism in disguise. If you struggle to stop researching and start something, or keep rehashing strategies to the point that nothing gets done, you might be a professional procrastinating perfectionist. The truth is, either way, in procrastinating for too long, we lose control. Either the marketplace conditions will shift and decide for us, or we miss the opportunity. When we act, we remain in control. Sometimes you'll see that it didn't have to be as perfect to achieve the same results anyway, while in other cases, you'll have time to perfect the details later. Either way, procrastination is a waste of time. Number 8. Meetings. Meetings are a snooze fest. BC, aka before COVID, in the US, 25 million meetings were held daily, but studies indicated that most executives thought these meetings were unnecessary and a waste of money. Productive meetings don't need to stretch on for more than 30 minutes. Before the meeting, send out a background document so everyone can contribute meaningfully. Outline the discussion points, and then stay focused. When you don't feel like a meeting is necessary, opt for an email or a phone call. Number 9. Not saying no. Something so many of us forget is we have the ability and freedom to say no. As grown-ass adults, we aren't obliged to anyone to do anything we don't want to. Now, we're not suggesting you become all about yourself all the time. We're a caring community of Alexers. But we do draw a line when you end up saying yes to everything and have no time or energy to do the important things you need to do. When someone asks you to guest host a podcast or join a community forum, come to a fundraiser that you aren't interested in or equipped for, you should be able to say no thank you without any guilt. Not only are you ensuring you protect your own well-being, but you're also looking after their interests by not taking on something you aren't willing or able to do. Number 10. Avoidance kills time. Avoidance is part of human nature. We don't like to face the inevitable. We don't like to struggle, and we don't like to graft. But when we do, we love the sweet, sweet rewards. So why do we postpone that moment just for a bit of hard work when it usually ends up not being as bad as we thought? Postponing it means it might become harder, and you'll find a million not important things to fill your time up instead of doing the one thing you need to. Most motivation coaches encourage their followers to always tackle the tough stuff first, and it makes sense. Start on it first when you're more powered up. Finishing the task gives you a big boost of confidence, and then you don't need to worry about it anymore while you go on to do the easy things. Number 11. Comparing yourself to others. Comparing yourself is the biggest waste of time. Not only is it impossible for any one person to be comparable to another because no single person has the same lived experience as another, it also just doesn't get us anywhere. When you're focusing on comparisons, you're taking the focus off your own goal and mission in life. It doesn't matter where someone else is in their career. They could be different to where you are in your family or your relationships or your confidence. There are too many aspects that make up a person for it to be worth comparing yourself to the parts you know about them. Each one of us has our own struggles, as well as things that come naturally and easy to us. Stick in your own lane and move yourself ahead. And keep watching, because we'll give you one habit to stop today and save yourself from total time assassination. Number 12. Waiting. Spending your valuable time in a queue or stuck in traffic is totally counterproductive. Often, with a proper stock take of your time and a little planning, you can reduce or eliminate the time you spend waiting. Now that many of us have spent a substantial amount of time working from home and shopping online this year, it's become even more evident how much time was wasted in traffic and doing errands that can now be done online. Asking your boss for a flexible start and end time will also allow you to commute to work in off-peak times, so you spend less time in traffic and more time doing what you enjoy. Number 13. Going into shops. COVID lockdown has forced the last remaining in-person shopper to migrate online out of necessity. For most of us, it's a no-brainer that going to a shop in person is a total waste of time. Driving, parking, browsing, and queuing all drive up the time it takes to just pop in and get something quickly. Having grocery stores on every corner means we don't plan. We just stop in for a few items every day after work. But when you look at how much time and snacks that adds to your schedule and bills, it's scary. It's better to plan your shopping, order online, and make do with what you've got. You'll save money, time, and snack less. Number 14. Binge watching. Nothing beats a binge fest when you need a weekend on the couch, but binge watching is a total time waster if you habitually binge any new series you get into. We live in a generation that never has time or money to take a holiday or visit their friends, but is always up to speed with the latest streaming release and knows all the best places on Uber Eats. Take a realistic look at how much time you spend clicking next episode every night instead of getting up and just doing something more worthwhile. Perhaps you'll realize you actually do have time for the things you say you don't. Number 15. Be proactive, not reactive in doing errands. Errands take up a massive chunk of change from adult life, but that doesn't have to be the case. When you leave your errands to the last minute, they take up a ton more time than they have to. If you leave filing your taxes so late you literally have to take a day off work to stand in a queue and file them manually, or if you waited too long to renew your driver's license that you now have to go in and retake the whole test, then you're doing it wrong. Instead of reacting to late letters and summons because you keep putting your errands off, start being proactive about them. Have your bills ready to pay or a license to renew in your bag. When you're headed in that direction, you can do it instead of turning it into a whole trip just for that. When you finish something in your kitchen, add it to your shopping list. Having to run out for one ingredient is a total waste of time. One of the fastest ways to waste time is complaining. Now, we don't mean calling a complaints department, more like standing in front of a mirror thinking of how fat you are, or how unfair life is, you're single and everyone else is married, or how you should just be a CEO by now if your dumb boss would just see your potential. Complaining is lame. It just makes you look like you can't come up with a better idea than to rattle off some negativity. Nothing amazing came from complaining. No one complained their way to CEO or to a 50th wedding anniversary. If you want to keep watching time pass by, then keep on complaining. Or you could go out there and just change things for yourself.